This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, what's going on?
Hey, John. It's been like a quite sleepy week over here, which I guess is fine. But it's like as far as like the decision I'm going to talk about, well, it's I guess it's kind of like an exception as far as things go around here.
I'll trade you weeks, by the way.
Yeah, understandable, sir.
So, what do you have for us tonight?
Okay, well, tonight is a series that I've been like talking about for a while called Gideon Falls. It's it's written by Jeff Lemire, a guy who I've written about and talked a lot about like on this show, and illustrated by one of his frequent collaborators, Andrea Sorrentino, someone who does like consistently good artistic work. Now, longtime listeners and readers may recall that I first talked about like the first volume of this series on an episode called like Jeff Lemire, Two Endings, One Beginning, where I talked about how I was kind of underwhelmed by the finales for two of his series, Descender and Royal City. Descender was ser- a science fiction series about a kid android who figured deeply into like the fate of the science fiction universe that he and artist Dustin Nguyen had cooked up. While Royal City was the first series that he had written and illustrated since his breakout, um, like a Sweet Tooth. And while uh, Royal City like had a like clever way of illustrating like the like how grief was represented. It's like by in a familiar setting. Descender was a series that people like really liked. It's like, but I just kind of felt was I just really kind of like assembled through like stock science fiction plot plot stuff, and I did not like get into like Nguyen's like fully painted style of stuff. Much prefer his pencil work as seen in like most of the Batman titles he had been illustrating over the years. I've basically been like underwhelmed by like both of these series, like and how they wrapped up. But like Gideon Falls, like I get gave us a like a solid like creepy series that promised like some intriguing mysteries in the sense that it's like in the sense that there's this town that like this priest had come this disgraced priest had come to like take over this like from the other priest who had disappeared, and he was trying to make a fresh start of things, but it turns out there's like some really creepy stuff going on, such as such as like one of the like old ladies who had managed his house, like being murdered in the face of the field, and the other old priest showing up in the dead of night, telling him to come with me, man, stuff like that. And there's also like this other like urban setting where this guy, a guy by the name of Norman Sinclair, who was like 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 digging through trash looking to rebuild this thing called the Black Barn, and like he was being like and even though like his psychiatrist, Dr. Angela Shu, was trying to like tell him like you're just being a crazy person, man. Well, she eventually realizes that maybe like like Norton and his dreams of this Black Barn like aren't like maybe not like maybe actually are like have some kind of like basis in reality as well. Same with like the priest that we've been talking about, like Father Fred. So it's like Gideon Falls like got off to like a solid creepy start, and like I was kind of thinking like, okay, maybe it's kind of like Lemire is gonna like turn things around, and he's got like Andrea Sorrentino like watching his back, and done they'd done solid work together on it's like on Old Man Logan, so it's like maybe like this is like gonna be like like the series that really like gets me on board with with what they're doing, even though like I kind of felt that Lemire had doing like solid after his work on like Sweet Tooth. I would kind of figure that Lemire is kind of like a guy worth watching, but it's like after Royal City after it's like after Descender, like after oh god, Extraordinary X-Men. It's like I kind of figured, oh man, it's like he needs something like to really turn me around. Like I need something to believe in, man. It's like yeah, that you know that you're that this is what that you can do solid work. It's like on your own terms. Well, I finally got around to reading like the end of this series, and you know what? I I think I'm done with Lemire. Really, honestly, because like Gideon Falls and like everything else has shown me that like Lemire is a guy who just delivers stuff that is like really kind of based in like either off the shelf stuff like familiar like concepts like with that we saw in like say in Descender. It's like just it's like here's the like the child android. Oh, here's the android who thinks he's like done bad and all, and then there's like the it's like the kid who grew up to be like a monster hunt, like a robot hunting like a robot hating cyborg. He grew up with the kid like who was the protagonist of the android protagonist who was like the of the series. It's like it was just like familiar. It's like and unsurprising and like oh wait, now there's magic. It's like a part of this series as well. It's like from out of nowhere. Oh man, it's like no, I was done with that. But I was kind of hoping that Gideon Falls would offer like something new, something that basically gave me a chance to like really kind of believe in this. But in Lemire, but I'm kind of reminded of how uh, Sweet Tooth was basically a very familiar series. It took a lot of familiar concepts, such as like the old gruff, like gun toting mercenary. It's like but like made them new again, like thanks to like the level of execution, like the level of formalism that Lemire showed, like in like in depicting the series. Gideon Falls, well, it's like it doesn't quite work that way because while it's essentially established that like there's two versions of Gideon Falls. One is like a rural farm where Father Fred like is basically taking up residence, and then there's the urban like version where it's like where Norton Sinclair and Dr. Shu are living, and this is where like like hey, it's like like Norton is just kind of like it's like dealing with like all the craziness that's being heaped upon him like by the visions of this black barn, to the point where oh well Dr. Shu is getting visions of these barns as well because she's close to him as well, and apparently she has a connection to it as well. But also so does Father Fred and like Sergeant Clarabelle or Deputy Sheriff Clarabelle. It's like of of the it's like of the city. It's like she's got her own connections to it because apparently like her brother um um Damon, it's like disappeared like years ago, and she's wondering whatever happened to him, and but her dad Doc, let's see, it's like the doctor, it's like he is kind of like Dr. Sutton. It's like it's like he's a member of the Plowmen, the like a ancient group that's like basically like dedicating themselves to fighting against the Black Barn. It's like over the years, it's like and he apparently wants to recruit Father Fred to like help fight against like the menace that this barn represents. Now the first volume actually that kind of surprised me in the sense that it brings in like the black barn and the threat that it represents like pretty early on. Like I was kind of figuring like this is gonna be like a like end of series kind of threat, but no, it's like we find out like what like the black barn is evil, and it's like it's making its presence known, and as as the series goes on, we find out that well, the Black Barn is actually kind of like a multiversal nexus for different versions of Gideon Falls, because it turns out that there's more than one version of this city. It's like there's the rural version, there's the urban version, there's the old west version, there's the totalitarian version, there's the cyberpunk version. Why are there so many different versions of it? Well, it's because back in the day, there's good, there's evil, but then evil started encroaching on good, and it turns out that evil, it's wanted everything. It's wanted to consume everything, and there was this it was just this giant multi-mouthed cockroach that was trying to devour everything in the end. And okay, sure, that's fine. There's good, there's evil. It's and these kind of absolutes are things kind of appealed to me when I was 15 and all. But these days, I need more than that. I need to know, okay, well, you're telling me that there's absolute good, there's absolute evil. Well, what kind of character is attached to that? And Lemire doesn't have a good answer for that. Um, the characterizations he applies to guys like Daniel Sutton, to who was also Norton Sinclair, to Father Fred, to Dr. Shu, to Doc Sutton, to Clara Sutton. It's they're just kind of familiar, and he doesn't do anything new with them. It's they're just kind of the versions of them that you meet early on. They're the same that we get to that as that we get to know later on. And also, it turns out that wait, it's not only is Gideon Falls a multiverse, but it's also got a time travel aspect as well, in the sense that that we're constantly meeting new versions of these characters as well, who basically is oh no, I haven't met you yet, but let me tell you how things are gonna go. It's that we've got that kind of time travel bullshit to deal with as well, and it's just kind of oh my god, it's as things go on, it just kind of feels Lemire is just he's got a bog standard story about about time travel and the multiverse to tell us, but he doesn't have anything new to tell us about it. I mean, there are some crowd pleasing bits that he tosses in, such as when Father Fred shows up with a shotgun to take on the it's the evil threat that's been making its presence known in the multiverse at the end of Volume 4. But then you get bits where it's when, in order to get into a Starbucks place, um like Norton or Daniel basically says, "I'll take a half venti mocha whip with with extra whip and all." And it's you're thinking how the hell does he know this? How would he even know this? Dr. Shu just goes, what the hell even are you? And it's that kind of stuff makes you go, oh, so okay, so as long as you throw in some like dimension breaking stuff like that, it'll be fine. No. No, no, it isn't. It's basically Lemire basically has a very standard like vision of this multiverse, in the sense that, oh well, it's all it's something that exists. It's and there's all these different versions of it. Not that we need to give differentiate them to the reader beyond the fact that oh, one's the cyberpunk version, oh, one's the steampunk version, oh, one's the urban version. It's it's so if you're gonna give us a multiverse, give us a proper multiverse that basically exists beyond just familiar tropes like that. I mean, that's just the one you've given us that just in sound bites that I just said is boring as hell. It's I don't want this. It's annoying, and it's to the extent that any of this has any weight at all, it's down to Andrea Sorrentino, the artist. Sorrentino has a great detailed style that's willing to invest in the it's in the basic compulsions of these different multiverses, and so it's like when I say like, oh, there's like a steampunk version of Gideon Falls. Well, like Sorrentino is gonna try and give you like as many like blimps like and people in like in stationary stores as is necessary. It's like you kind of figure that like Sorrentino realized that like I don't know what you're going on here, but it's like I'm gonna like draw whatever the hell you ask. And he's also really good with like just like laying up the general creepiness of the premise. It's like when Father Fred gets a vision from the being visited at night by the former priest of Gideon Falls, Father Tom. It's a nightmarish red it's like a red hued like vision of awfulness. It's like that makes you go like, oh man, this I'm not gonna sleep well after seeing this. And it's like, and he also just like does a good job of like giving like wide nightmarish widescreen visions of the normal worlds as well. It's like when Daniel goes into his apartment for the first time. You're seeing this like from a fisheye wide like from a fisheye wide screen version of it. It's just like this, like this is not something that is like meant to be observed as normal. It's like, and also like at the end when it's like when they finally get to confronting like the nightmare monster at the center of the world. It's like, well, like um like Sorrentino draws this as the characters like falling out of the comic book. It's like into an upside down vision of it's like the nightmare world of the center. Sorrentino, it's like he I don't know if he completely believed in everything that he was drawing here, but what he delivers here like does a good job of selling what Lemire is peddling more than what Lemire is like talking about himself. Um, in terms of like what I've written about at the like on the site, it's like it's like what I said. It's like as things go on that like the Sorrentino is really the reason to keep reading this series because he does like a great job of selling this stuff. Like when Father Fred winds up in like the cyberpunk version of Gideon Falls in Volume 5, well, that's because like Sorrentino does like the fact that I can like believe this like even though it's like there's like the barest of like justifications for this version of Gideon Falls existing. Well, it's because Sorrentino does a good job of like creating a believable cyberpunk world just from the visuals themselves. In fact, I didn't review Volume 5, but but basically it's like after like the guys blew up the Black Barn, they thought they did in Volume 4. Well, Volume 5 basically reveals that, oh, wait, like that was just like, to let the bad thing out. It's like now he's just, like devouring everything. And we're going to, and it was all about like how all the worlds are collapsing in towards the center, as well as the discussion about the oh, there's the absolute good, there's absolute light, and this is what things were like before, like the said devour the light, and oh god, I don't care. But Volume 5 basically didn't really like do anything to convince me that Lemire was like doing a good job of like steering this stuff. That he was it basically convinced me that well he's just like pulling off like basic shit off the shelf, and it's basically down to Sorrentino to just like make this look as good as possible in order to wrap things up. And then we get to the final issue, which oh my god, it's like it takes fucking balls to basically say, hey, we're doing a triple size final issue, and like okay, this is good. Oh, and it also turns this final issue, the triple size final issue, it's also going to be our like trade paperback version that we're going to release down the line with some additional like making of materials as well. And I hear this like, oh god damn it! So I basically went and downloaded the final issue like from Comixology because it's like $6, and I'm not gonna pay like $12 to get the final volume if this is what they're gonna do right here. No, it's like I'm just gonna get like the story and like be done with it. And the story, well, okay, everyone comes to the center of the of the multiverse. Um, Daniel, it's like he's got some stuff to deal with. Like there's like it's like his version of his evil, like the evil bus driver who basically said like, "Oh no," it's like, "Why are you the person that the smiling man, laughing man wants to rule over the multiverse? No, I want to be him." And it's like, oh, god damn it! It's like I don't care about this stuff anymore. I mean, it's like Sorrentino does some great like upside down work and some Escher style like nightmare stuff when everyone like goes into the black barn and realizes that, oh no, it's like we're face to face with our worst nightmares. Oh no, it's like and Daniel realizes that, oh, it's like no, it's like I realized that my nightmare was like facing the black barn itself, and like, oh, the black barn was like no nightmare at all. It's like, oh god, this is it's just like familiar basic stuff that when we get to the end, when we find out that, oh no, like we need to like basically prevent the real Norton Sinclair, from like ever like turning on his machine that broke through the multiverse. Because okay, sure, it's like that's like the one basic thing you need to do, and then oh they do this, and then oh everyone's living in a normal version of Gideon Falls in the end, and oh wait, at the very end we see Daniel like digging through the trash and finding a piece of the black barn and smiling because oh no, it's like he's still consumed by the laughing man in the end, and god damn it. It's like I uh I buy all of the comics that I talk about on on this podcast. So it's kind of like I'm like I feel like I'm like there's a sense that like I'm kind of like kind of biased towards liking them as well. But with Gideon Falls, it's like this is like that rare series that basically go, okay, maybe it'll get better. It's like these are creators who've done like good stuff, like by my standards, like in the past. And then in the end, I realized that, oh no, it's like what, I should have stopped buying this. It's like a while ago, but no, it's like in the end, it's like Gideon Falls is really kind of a huge disappointment, and well, maybe not quite as disappointing as it's like as Descender, because while I said I told you I didn't like Dustin Nguyen's painted work, Sorrentino's pencil work here is really impressive, and it's like I can point to this as like as quality work, like it's him just like just like when I mean, I appreciate that Lemire gave him like the free range to like draw some like really crazy ass stuff here, and it's worth it. Just see that stuff in the end. But as far as the story goes, no, I'm not. I'm not buying it, and it's like I can't really recommend that you guys seek this out as well. I mean, like yeah, Sorrentino does some great work, but I really hope that he hooks up with someone who can utilize his talents better than Lemire does here. So overall, it's like Gideon Falls. It's like nah, just skip it. I mean, yeah, it's like it may have won the Eisner Award for Best New Series in 2019, but no, it's not worth it. I mean, okay, maybe if you like experimental, like weird art that of the kind Sorrentino delivers, but as far as like a series that delivers like in terms of like art and writing, well, it delivers on the art, which that's the main reason I'm probably gonna keep this in my library. but I'm not going to buy the final volume because I've got that on my iPad now. But Gideon Falls, great art. It's like it's something that you want to like read in order to appreciate everything that Sorrentino does. But as far as like what Lemire does, man, I'm done with them. And the fact that his new series is about a girl who is slowly turning into a tree called Family Tree. No, that's it. I'm done with them. Uh, I guess John. So any thoughts on your end about any of this stuff?
So it falls short.
It absolutely does.
No, but the pun is intended, actually.
Ha
Uh,
ha! Okay, I see what you did there
sure.
now.
Ta-da. Yeah, so everyone,
Gideon falls short, but I'm bummed.
Gideon falls short. That's almost the title of this, but that's all right. Okay, well, you've given your expert opinion on it, and that's awesome. So do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Oh yeah, I'm going back to the world of sports manga for a series that I'm willing to bet, like not many people have read about, but I think a lot of people should read about, and that's All Rounder Meguru by Hiroki Endo. And the final volume isn't out yet, but it will be out on Tuesday, which I'm going to read about it, and then I'm going to talk about it like in 2 weeks' time.
All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, later's.